Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Bruce on the Loose. I'm sorry I've not recorded anything for quite some time, but I ended up having a couple of months back in Hull in the summer. Firstly, because there was a couple of jobs I needed to have done under warranty on the van, and as always seems to happen with these motorhomes, parts were not readily available and the repairs took a little bit longer than expected. Secondly, unfortunately, I had a bit of a health issue, which meant also that I needed to stay around Hull. Ended up having to go to the doctors almost every other day to have my heart monitored. But fortunately, everything was absolutely fine. It was a bit scary at the time, but everything turned out to be fine. A little bit of an alteration to my medication, and everything was spot on. So that was good news. So beginning of October, we decided to set off and got the van packed and drove up towards the Scottish borders. Our first stop was in Howick, which is a very interesting place with lots of history. The town was heavily involved in the Battle of Flodden between the British, or the English, and the Scottish in 1514. And it would seem that some of the local youths managed to steal one of the English, should I say, flags. And that is still celebrated to this day. Every year they choose a local boy who rides round the town and the sort of parish boundaries with a flag to celebrate the fact that they are uniquely Scottish and the part they played in the battle itself. We then moved on to sort of the rest of the sort of east coast. Went above Inverness to after stopping in Cullen. Cullen was very interesting. I played golf there 30 odd years ago, and it's famous for Cullen skink, the smoked fish soup. So I had a bowl of that, which was very good, and then we moved further up to stop over in Port Ellen, which again was a lovely little harbourside stopover. We then moved further up and stopped at Dunrobin Castle, which was a very impressive place right on the edge of the coast. Fabulous views, and there was a campsite next door. And then the following day, quite an interesting drive really, up to John O'Groats. John O'Groats was incredibly touristy, just full of tourist shops selling knickknacks. The fish and chip shop was selling a portion of fish and chips for takeaway at £17.95. So it gives you some idea of how much of a tourist trap it is. So we didn't stay too long, got the usual pictures, and then drove up to Dunnet Head to see the lighthouse. Dunnet Head is actually the most northerly part of Scotland, and that was both impressive and quite scary. There's a viewing platform which literally is on the top of the cliff, and certainly not good if you're not good for heights. And from there we set off to Scrabster, ready to get the ferry over to Orkney. And hopefully in the next few days I will post the Orkney video. And all I can say is, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It helps the channel grow. Thank you for your watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye now.